Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the next round of the Gaming Nights of the Round Table. It's a bit different today in the fact that we've got a guest host, so from time to time we're going to be either getting the fans to take charge or the other staff members and things like that. So really, without further ado, I will pass you over to James Simpkin. Come over and always find us at www.TheGamingRigUK. And we're always going to be doing these every week or every other week, really. So if any fans want to join us, any more staff members, just get in touch with us. So, as I say, James, you're up.
Alright, hi. Yeah, basically, this week I've been thinking about a few things about what are really important to gamers, and one thing that really panned for me is, like, one of the greatest feelings in the world is when there's a new game coming out and you get really hyped about it. And then it comes out and you got it in your hands and you're just quivering with anticipation, and then you put it in and then there's just a flat moment where you think, what the fuck is this? Right, and I was just thinking, wouldn't it be good if we could actually discuss all of these moments that we've had where we've just been slapped in the face by the games that we love or the franchise that we love? Right? So, I thought we could start off with a few questions, and the first one I was thinking of is just games that we were waiting for, or highly anticipated games that just were not, that were just crap. So, I think if we started off with Kieran on this one, right, how about you shoot?
Games we were waiting for, but didn't make it. I'm thinking, at the moment, the newest game, what's just come out, is Alien Colonial Marines.
Okay.
I was playing it around my mate's house because I was thinking I'm not going to buy it yet. I'm going to see what the reviewers say and stuff. And I haven't got around to reading anything. And I was looking at my friend playing it. I was thinking, it looks okay. It looks a lot better than Alien vs Predator, because that was just a pile of crap anyway. I didn't like it at all. If you played on I'm a big multiplayer fan, so I play everything on multiplayer. I love it to bits. And I saw my mate play it with his 3 other mates, and I was thinking, it just doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem like the alien world that I know of from the films. So I was just thinking, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to waste 40 quid to play this game. So I'm just going to save my time. Other one was probably Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah, what is that?
Assassin's Creed 3. I like Assassin's Creed series. I think they're pretty awesome. The ending of Assassin's Creed 2, I didn't like. I sat there, I was thinking I just wasted pretty much my whole day playing this. I was thinking, this is just crap, I'm not going to buy the next one. I bought Brotherhood just for the online to see why they added online onto it. And it was really, really cool. I loved it, and it made me start playing Assassin's Creed again. And then came Brotherhood. Brotherhood wasn't particularly that great. I was thinking again, I won't buy it. Then the trailer for Assassin's Creed 3 looked amazing. You can actually go inside someone's house. I was like, oh! Blows my mind. And then I started playing it, and you didn't play as Connor. I think his name's Connor. You didn't play as Connor at the start.
Yeah.
And that ruined it for me. It took me ages. Like, you're on a boat for half an hour. You're just like, what's the point in this? Like, it's for training. It's telling you how to play the game. But I'm thinking, I can guarantee who's got Assassin's Creed 3 have played all the other Assassin's Creed. So why are you putting training into this? It doesn't make any sense. And then I got to this fort bit where you could go and sneak around and everything. And sneaking around, I was in this piece of grass, and the grass, your head is sticking above the grass, and you get spotted, and you're running into the grass, and this guy's looking at you, like, where has he gone? And he's like, right above you, and your head's poking out the grass. It doesn't make any sense. I just found it stupid. So. It's mainly the big releases that ruin it for me, like games who have never really big for me. Are you hearing the beeps?
Nah.
No, I keep getting it all the time. It's mainly games like Call of Duty. I don't look forward to them anymore. After Modern Warfare 2, that was it. It just ruined everything for me. Like Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, it was horrible. The games that I did look forward to was on Halo 4, fantastic. It was brilliant, and that was the game I loved pretty much last year. But
yeah,
it's mainly big releases for me. I play quite a lot, so.
So you said that you were a big multiplayer fan.
Yeah.
But you don't like Call of Duty anymore.
No, it's ruined. They've ruined it so much. Like, for instance, the guns in the game, they're not thinking about the hit markers. Like, you know the hitbox, how they place it over the character. And I'm shooting at someone, it takes 3 bullets to kill someone out of their gun, they take 5 out of mine, and I was stressing in the first day the game come out, which doesn't normally happen to me on Call of Duty. I got pissed off by the game in about a week's time, but this one, in the first couple of hours of playing it, I was just getting pissed off. It was not working for me at all, so...
Wow.
Yeah, Battlefield.
I'm amazed you feel so strongly. Like, say, if you're master of your multiplayer, I thought Call of Duty would be the top of the list.
No, not now.
I'm quite amazed at that.
Not now. I'm still playing, like, Modern Warfare 3, and I was playing Modern Warfare 3 before I came on here, and I'm like, sitting here like, what have they done wrong? What have Treyarch done wrong? Activision, Infinity Ward have done everything right. Like, Call of Duty 4, fantastic. I spent days, I mean, like months of playing that game, and World at War was crap anyway. It wasn't that great. It was literally just pasted over from COD 4. That was it. Then came Modern Warfare 2. Now, they got everything right in it. Like, they added more kill streaks, which was fantastic. They added nukes at the end of it. So if you got a nuke, you felt like you're the Don of Call of Duty. You're like, yeah, I got a nuke. Take that. I finish the game whenever I want to. So you have a nuke waiting there, and you just go, yeah, I can finish this. So if I'm losing, I can go, nuke, done, finish the game. It's fantastic. Then came Black Ops, and Black Ops was okay. It wasn't particularly that great. Campaign, though, on the other hand, was fantastic. I really liked it.
I enjoyed that.
The end of the campaign was fantastic. You thought he was going to be there the whole time, and you're like, found out it was in his head, and I was like, wow, that just blows my mind. And then came Modern Warfare 3, which ended the campaign series for me, and I really liked the campaign in the Modern Warfare series. Like, being Price at the end of Modern Warfare 3 just made a tip for me. I was thinking, I always wanted to play as Price. You become Price in a Juggernaut suit. So, like, you storm in this building, fantastic. But online, it was rubbish at the start, and then what they've done is fixed it. So they worked with Sledgehammer, and Sledgehammer really fixed it a lot. Again, with the hitboxes, the guns were overpowered, people were running around. Like, there's a really good added feature on Modern Warfare 3, which is a specialist bonus, where you get all the perks, you get over like a 7 or 8 kill streak. I was thinking, if you run around like with all your perks on, you feel like you're God. So your grenades are coming at you, you can sponge the grenade, you can see where everyone is. It was fantastic. So then came Black Ops, and it just literally went downhill. I played the first day, I was thinking, I am going to throw this game in the bin. I hate it. I bought 3 copies of the game.
Why?
One for PS3, one for the Hardened Edition, so I can get Nuketown for the zombies, because I like zombies, and then one just for normal. So I got the normal edition.
Why was the normal necessary?
I don't know now. And then I also bought the season pass as well for online. So it gave me the map packs. And I was just thinking, why did I pay for the season pass? There's no need for the season pass.
When you were like putting in your card details, did you not stop to think, you know what, I've got 2 copies of this already.
I actually queued up.
Do I need one more copy that has less stuff?
Well, I queued out my game, and I was thinking, I had Assassin's Creed 3 in my hand, and I had Halo 4 in my hand, which I was quite upset that I played Halo 4 in. And I got Halo 4 back anyway, because it was such a better game than Call of Duty. And I was standing there, so thinking, well, I need to buy one for me. I need to buy for my PS3 as well, just in case my PS3 friends want to play with me. And I've also I had to get the hardened copy, because I've also got the hardened copies already for the other CODs. So I got my metal tin editions all on the side. I was thinking, why did I waste nearly £200 on Call of Duty that month? Why? So I am not doing it ever again. They have lost a customer now.
Were you afraid that you know, Call of Duty would close down if you didn't? Because that series is fine. You don't have to buy 3 copies of a fucking game to keep it in business. that thing sells more than anything in the entire world.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I wanted to buy 3. Well, for my PS3 friends, they would want to ask me to play with them. I'm like, yeah, I'll come play online. I hardly go on my PS3, but when I do, I'm like, I'm not even prestiged that on like any of the CODs on PS3. I'm like not even close to it. I play it for like 2 or 3 hours a year, so I spend 40 quid on Call of Duty Black Ops or any Call of Duty for PS3. I only play 3 hours of it.
Bloody hell.
Money well spent.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's the opposite of money well spent.
I think I have wasted a lot of money on games, like some crap games. Like for instance, I don't remember. Do you remember last year they at Xbox Live, Microsoft brought out this saving pack, and you could buy like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs for like 2 or 3 quid. And I sat down like, well, I'm not going to buy it in a shop for 20 quid for 1,000 gamer score. I'm going to buy it online for 3 quid and get the 1,000 score. And there was like, there's Bolt on there, Disney Bolt. There was Prince of Persia. Prince of Persia's pretty good, but Bolt and
you just buy things for the sake of it, don't you?
I do. Like a game.
That is the very definition of having too much money.
I don't have too much money. When I complete a game, I trade the game in. I do. Apart from games I will play. So, for instance, I've never...
Like Cloudy with a Hit of Meatballs.
I can't trade that in on my Xbox. No, why 3 quid? But I wouldn't have got any money for it anyway. It's a piece of crap game anyway. But it's normally film games. Now, there's one game I'm looking forward to this year. And it's a film game as well. Star Trek. Third person shooter. It comes out on the 26th, so in 2 weeks' time. It's for the Star Trek film. And it looks really, really good. It looks really good. And
have a look.
In the past, Star Trek games have been good.
Yeah, like I got Star Trek Legacy. Now that's when you're the ship, pretty much. You can be the Enterprise, you can be Voyager, you can be all of that, and you're flying around space.
That was a good game, actually.
Yeah, it was a very good game, and I picked it up for like it was in 2 for 10 at game. I was thinking, well, there's Need for Speed Most Wanted, and there's also Star Trek 1000G game easy, and Star Trek. So I'm going to have both of them at the same time, but. So far, the Star Trek game is quite hard as well. So
I've always wished they'd do a game like that for, say, Mass Effect, because they've invested so much in their ships, but like in their story and their details, it's down to like the very specifications that you just like. Well, just let me play as the fucking ships then.
Well, I thought when in Mass Effect 3, did you play Mass Effect 3?
Oh yeah. You
know when you had to go around going to the different planets and such, and if you went to a solar system where what were they called?
The Reapers would be present, yeah.
So, yeah, and they'll chase after you at the solar system. I was like, well, why can't I just fight there? Why can't I just have a space battle?
Because you just get insta death.
Yeah, right. Actually, I'm thinking of another game, Star Wars Battlefront. Did you ever play that?
Oh, I love Star Wars Battlefront was one of the best games ever, in my opinion.
And they brought out the second one, and the second one came out on my birthday. And I was thinking, I was so looking forward to it. And I sat down, I was thinking, I don't want to be a Jedi. I want to be a stormtrooper. I could be a Jedi in like Force
Dark Forces.
Yeah, and I was thinking, why can't I just play as a trooper? Because you've got a special kill streak. You can use a lightsaber and stuff. But I don't want to do that. I want to fly around as a jetpack and start noob-tubing people. That's all I want to do. And they brought space battle into it. Now,
that was beautiful.
It was, but it was so easy. It was easy. You get a ship, fly into their base, destroy their ship from the inside out, win, done. You don't have to. It was just ridiculous. But it was a game I was very, very disappointed in. Apart from Battlefront 1, which was fantastic.
It's a game that, if it came out in this current generation, it would be amazing with multiplayer advanced the way it has, and with just the general idea of having a whole team. It's almost like Team Fortress, where you'd have different people of different roles, because on the space battles you had Marines who would be the ones going in to destroy shit, and then you'd have pilots dealing with all the different ships, and you could also go in the main ship and control their guns. And
like you could just sit there in their ship all the time and not get a. You don't have to die, but you can just sit there in a turret gun and just take out loads of enemies. But you don't have to go out there and fight yourself. But I found in Star Wars Battlefront 1 that you had all the big machines, like the Battle of what was it? Where it's in the Clone Wars. What's the last planet they go on to? They had the Battle of the Clones versus the droids for the first time, and you fight that battle in Star Wars Battlefront.
I remember that now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is the best fight scene ever. I'm just loving it. And then you just sit there and you just imagine like you can just be a trooper. You feel like you're actually there just fighting all these droids. And I was never the droids. I was always the clones. The clones are so overpowered. Like with the droidicas, fighting the droidicas on Star Wars Battlefront 1, there's a glitch on it where if you went right up to their shield, like in front of them, they couldn't shoot you. They just stand there, just looking at you and just destroying their shield and then destroy them. And it's like, oh, it's easy droidica kill.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we digress a little bit. So why don't we move on to AJ, our very own. What would you say is the game that you were most disappointed with that you were waiting for?
Mine would probably be a lot of people's as well. Dead Island.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was a fun game, but the trailer we had and then how it could have been. I mean, I remember reading up on and watching tech demos from years ago, like with the detail that you could break away at someone's face and all this other stuff. And then they come out with this really serious trailer of this game, and I was just like, wow, this is going to tackle a pretty controversial, topic with this girl being killed and etc. 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 And then when you saw the actual gameplay, you were like, okay, well, this is just zombie party mode. There's nothing serious about this. And though it was a good game, I found myself having to turn my brain off and dribble to enjoy it. And when I actually thought, no, I did. I
was there. I saw you.
What I'm trying to say is I had to sit there and think to myself, oh, this is a fun game. Because there was nothing to it in terms of actual depth or integrity like it was supposed to be.
What is it you were hoping for more of then? More sort of little girl throwing or...
Fair enough. No, I think a part of me still wanted it to go back to that trailer, even though I probably knew deep down it weren't happening. And though it was a fun game, a part of me wanted to play it and be like, no, there is hope. And once I completed it, and it just wasn't the experience I was hoping for.
If you could have put anything in it though, what would you have that you reckon might have changed it?
I wanted it to be a serious zombie game. I wanted it to be how it was supposed to be selling itself, portraying itself.
Not like shock machetes and zombies throwing up all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, when you could take a video of it, like I did, and you just, I think it was a glitch in the game where they were electrified and they were doing that, like, that to me isn't your serious game. If you can start getting videos to take the piss out of it, to me isn't the serious game it was supposed to be.
All right.
You were talking in last video about the guns in the game, and you can hack them with a machete and stuff. But with a gun in the game, you just shoot them in the head. They're meant to die, but it comes up with like 20 points, and that's it.
Yeah.
It was just really stupid, and I agree. Dead Island was a real hype to the game, and I was looking forward to it. They released a video, and then a year later they released a video with a girl. I was thinking this is going to be awesome. This game's going to be fantastic. Yeah. I sat there like, it's pretty crap. I was not happy with it.
It was like it was killed by numbers. It literally was. It was just like, 20 points. And when I saw, I think it was about 2 months later, there was this Polish guy, Russian guy, I don't know, and he was talking over the game, and he says, well, you can do this, you can go over to this section, and you can kill this person, and look how colourful the game is, and it's just like, oh, come on, that's not what we wanted. We wanted a dark, gritty, serious game. What you gave us was like this colourful, magical world with zombies. I was like, you completely lost the ball. And I don't know, maybe it wasn't their decision. Maybe it was the big execs saying, no, we're going to have to, pile out the sort of game that's around now. We can't take any risks. And apparently the next one's supposed to be going more serious. I doubt it. I don't see it. I don't see it.
But they've done the same thing with trying to have a very deep and emotional trailer for it, haven't they?
Yeah.
Have you seen that one yet with the couple in the boat?
Yeah.
No, I'm not sure. Yeah.
It came out a while back, didn't it? Yeah.
But either way, I mean, I'm trying to figure out if they've kind of not learned from their mistake, because from what I've read, it's going to be a bit of a copy and paste of the last game in just different locations.
Well, the best thing I read on an article was it's not an add-on. And it's not a sequel. It's a bit of both. What the fuck is it? What the fuck is it?
That's the very definition of an add-on.
But they don't want to admit it, do they? Like, they probably want to send out a serious trailer like they did because it's the marketing ploy. And it's just like, we're not falling for it again.
I have to say, it was a lot harder trying to find the trailer for the sequel than it was for the first game. Because the first game, you were tripping over that video. Yeah. It was everywhere.
It went viral. It went viral massively. I know people on my Facebook that posted it and not even gamers. Because it really was. It was amazing. It was an amazing piece of kit.
Yeah.
I just wish the game lived up to the same idea.
I was kind of talking about this a little bit on, say, with Colonial Marines.
Yeah.
My review for that.
Where's that?
Sorry. I enjoyed it, but I think I've had a lot of negativity about it, and I think it's all stemming from, people being so hyped up about something without even quite thinking about why they're hyped or what they're really expecting. Yeah. They just know that they're really excited, and as a result of that, they get let down eventually because they were expecting some Messiah game.
Well, I don't know if it was that for me. For me personally, is I try not to ever buy into hype. I enjoy a lot of things people didn't enjoy, and because maybe they were let down. But with me personally, because I didn't know what to expect from this game, you didn't hear anything from years. I didn't hear anything. The last thing I saw was years ago, which was the tech demo of this jaw being chopped away. Yeah. Apart from that, it was all articles and things. This was the first time it'd come back in years. I was like, oh my god, this is going to be amazing. I bought into the hype because we had such a long gap of giving us, nothing, and then they come out with this amazing trailer. It's a bit hard not to get hyped.
And now you'll never love again.
I'll never love again.
Yeah. Alright, so, Toby. How about you?
You know what, I can't even think of, the only two that I can think of that spring to mind are probably, they're more ones that I got excited about because I like the series, not because they actually got hype as such.
No, it's anything you're looking forward to. Yeah,
I think from we mentioned the Prince of Persia series earlier, because I love them games. The trilogy of the Sands of Time, and then the Warrior Within, and the Two Thrones. Then they had a DS version, Forgotten Sands. I was looking forward to that, but it wasn't really that good. It was I don't think it even did that well, to be honest. But because I like the games, and there was one for the Wii as well, but I think that was after a DS version. That wasn't too bad. The Forgotten Sands, that was actually pretty good. But the one on the DS, it was just really shoddy. Like, for what it could have been, it was just the jumping was really awful as well. You only jump on platforms in a game, and you don't actually get on the platform. It was one of them games. all the tweaks and the little bugs were like still in it.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't really that brilliant.
So they released it without finishing it, basically.
Yeah, kind of. It felt a bit it just was awful, and it followed the same look as the Xbox. I don't know if it came out on PS3 as well. When they kind of changed his look.
Yeah.
In the cartoon one?
Yeah, the cartoony
social. Oh dear. Oh.
I didn't play that one, but it was that they were going that route. But I didn't like the look of him, so I wanted to avoid that at all costs. I preferred the old style Sands of Time, Prince of Persia, and then also Red Steel on the Wii, because that was one of the first games that
get a lot of.
Yeah, that was just stupid because it got so much hype for being the one that would come out with its motion controls and its sword swiping, but it wasn't at all because that was glitchy as well. Like when you were attacking, you didn't really know what you were doing because you weren't even swiping. You were just waggling like a little crazy man, and I hoped to get a hit. And the story you couldn't follow because it was done by weird, like comic book narrative, but it wasn't very clear. And the ending, it was a proper abrupt ending. It was like you got to the end, didn't even know it was the end, and then bam, end of the game. And I hate games like that where you don't even realise it's the end. I much prefer if you kind of get a feeling, if you know it's going to come to an end, not it just stops. It's like film, you just don't want it to end.
The motion controls. Sorry, I was going to say the motion controls were quite similar to how they were for Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. In that, you thought that you were gonna have full sword control, and just turned out it was just like
it was just a bit of a waggle.
Go fishing.
And the
I love the fact that there's now a new sword move called Waggle.
Yeah.
you got the ninjas and shinobis, and they're like Waggle.
That was literally all that happened with the Wii in the beginning, but I hope that's gone now, so it's fine.
I've never played Red Steel 2 though. Apparently that was good.
Yeah, Red Steel 2 was proper. That was actually like such a different game. You wouldn't even think they're connected.
It was
It looks different. Yeah, it looks different for a start. They used Wii Motion Plus for that, so that was actually like proper sword to sword combat. It got a bit linear. I thought it was like get to a base, kill the enemies, get to another base, kill some more enemies. There was kind of collectibles and whatnot, but yeah, it was a really good game though. It was definitely a better game than the first one. I've got a bit of a wild card as well, the disappointment. Might be a bit of a shocker. New Super Mario Bros. U.
Yeah?
Mainly because I think this got me thinking today actually, the new formula, as it were, which isn't actually new at all, because they've done it for the past 3 games, and obviously Mario has sold loads anyway, and I've realised they've done the same thing for the past 25 years.
Yeah.
It's wearing thin on me now. But I think it needs to like, because all it did was it was the same game, just with HD and a couple. There was a really good like challenge mode. That's the only really like bonus I think, because otherwise you're just playing through the same game as you've done on like the DS and the Wii. So that was a bit of a disappointment for me, yeah. Because I was looking forward. I do look forward to a good old Mario, but I think I'll just wait for the 3D version. Good old 3D Mario.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to me, my one. I think might come as a bit of a shock for Toby. Right? Was
Legend. I know what you're gonna say.
Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword.
Mm.
Right? Because I'm a huge Zelda fan. Right? And every single game that's come out, I've absolutely adored. Even when Wind Waker came out and they changed the whole formula, all I was thinking was, "Oh, this is going to be awful. This looks absolute shite. They've made it all cartoony and too much for the kids." And then I played it and I actually loved it more than even all the previous ones. And then Twilight Princess, and that one was absolutely amazing again. It was a completely different formula. They, spun it all into a more dark, gritty world. And then now I was just, I really can't wait for Skyward Sword. And it was God knows how many years in development. And also, they had a lot of the hype was about having full sword motion control and such. And everything just sounded perfect. And then they said, "Oh yeah, we're making it. It's all watercolored graphics," which is fine for artistic style. I mean, Wind Waker was cel shaded, and that was a brilliant game. So I went in it with a pinch of salt, and then I played it. And the first thing I noticed was these horribly deformed characters, right? One of which goes by the name of Groose, who is somewhere.
I love Groose. He's one of my favourites.
He is some strange mix, but I can only describe as between the Fonz,
There's something about Mary,
Arnold Schwarzenegger, and possibly Tim Curry in Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Fuck it, I would play for that game. just him. Have a standalone just character on his own game. I would pay and play that. And I don't even like Zelda.
And it's just, I can understand having a different artistic style, but this one, it just kind of made it hard to take seriously. The enemies, for one thing, they were cartoony in Wind Waker, but for this one, they looked almost like they were lovable children's characters from a show on CBeebies, and I was just thinking, this is not the adventure I was expecting. I'm not going to try and kill this poor, lovable creature with a sword. And then, meanwhile, there's the NPCs, which they thought, alright, people like animals, let's have a bunch of weird, quirky animals. Now, there's one's themed for each sort of element, which is always the case with Zelda games. There is your forest element ones, which I can only describe as giant scrotal birds.
They were hilarious. I loved the little kiwis, whatever they're called.
Yeah, but there is a elder, right, which literally, I shit you not, looks like a ferociously huge ballsack. Right? I will urge anyone to play that game and try and see it in any other way.
Can we have an artistic impression?
Yeah, they were an odd.
Not for this current rating.
Go on, draw something in paint.
But then the next element was for fire, I think. So for that element, you have these weird mole creatures, which are somehow themed to like West Side Story. I don't know. And then you got weird seahorse creatures. I'm just thinking, what the fuck is going on here? I don't understand. Right? Where's the grittiness of Twilight Princess? Where's the vast adventuring of Wind Waker? Because that game was amazingly immersive in how vast and, well, dense the exploration was. But this one, there was only 5 areas, basically. There was your overworld area.
There was really only 3, though, really, wasn't there? Because then they just expanded them.
Yeah, and also a lot of the dungeons require you to basically go back to previous dungeons and do them slightly differently. And I was like, you cheap fuckers, you've had how many years for this?
I think what they've done, though, is that because I think since Wind Waker, they've kind of pigeonholed themselves slightly, because now whenever anyone expects another Zelda, you expect it to look different to the previous one, regardless of what you were expecting. I think everyone's going to always think now, all the fans are going to think, right, it's got to look different, something's got to be different, kind of thing.
I mean, here's the thing is, with, say, the motion controls on this one, it's one of 2 options. Either swordplay should never be done on a motion control, or just because, for one thing, you're swinging, you're not actually hitting anything, so all you're really doing is you're getting really stressed out, swinging at a little plastic stick at an imaginary screen, and then swearing at it when it doesn't work. Because
the ones that you had to kill the certain way, you know, like you either had to do it downwards or across.
The thing is, the enemies were, a lot of the combat was based on using your sword in particular directions, which sounds great, like in concept, especially for sword fights with like one of the boss characters, where he'll block sideways, so you got to cut upwards, and and it all sounds great. But when it doesn't work, and you realise that Wii Motion Plus is not great, right? And then it just ends up where you just go fucking die.
I think it worked in places. It didn't work all the time.
It's just the fact is, the control had to recalibrate every 5 seconds, right? Where I found out that like I was trying to stab, and meanwhile Link is like waving to the sky, and I'm just like, "What are you doing, you moron? You're getting fucking eaten."
You know what it just reminded me of? Is on the Kinect, the Star Wars Kinect. Yeah, I got it, and I was just like, oh, let's do this, it's going to be pretty awesome. And literally, it turns out after 5 minutes, you're just waving your arm around, trying to hit something.
A monkey could achieve, get 1,000 achievements with that game, and all he'd be doing is just...
I look like a right moron in my living room. I kind of have a space in my room, so I look like a proper weirdo when people walk through the door going, hello, Kieran. I'm trying to fight people, okay? Get away from me.
I have a lightsaber! I have a lightsaber!
But on a whole, motion controls don't work with poor tempers and also with bad processing. Right. Basically, if there's only one way to do it, that one way better fucking work 100%. Otherwise, essentially, the game won't let you progress. It's like saying, oh, well, looks like you haven't mastered ninjutsu, so fuck it, we're not doing this. It's like, I'm sorry, I didn't train for this, I didn't think I'd have to.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm getting on my horse, so shall we move on? For this one, I'm going to ask Kieran, right, what series on franchises do you reckon have just gone down the pan, just been awful as they got further on, or just had one game that could have toppled the whole lot?
Right. I'm actually going to go to back to my old days of my Game Boy Color.
Ah, okay.
Wow.
Right, okay.
Bust out your VCR while you're at it.
Oh! Pokemon.
Oh.
Is a big one for me. Pokemon. Now, Red and Blue, childhood memories in just sitting there. Yeah. I had like a curfew on my games. I was not allowed to play on the PlayStation 1 for between Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So on those Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I just sat there with my Game Boy Color and just played Pokemon like non-stop. And it came when it was like gold and silver, and it just went on and on and on. And it was always the same, and I keep adding more Pokemon, and you just want the old original 151. That's all you want. That will just make a good game. But then all these new ones will fire rockets at your enemies and stuff. It's just like this is not Pokemon. This is Digimon now. What are you doing? It's like
they pretty much made it impossible to catch them all.
Well, the thing is, just to catch them all is now less of a goal and more of a taunt, really.
You've got a better chance at catching AIDS than all the Pokemon. that should be their slogan. That should be their slogan.
Like, so, wasted 2 years catching every single no Pokemon? Well, I hope you got another 2 years, because here's another 150!
How many are there now?
The new one brings it up to 700, I think, because they've got X and Y coming out now.
Hell.
So it's like literally like 700.
They breed like fucking rabbits.
It's weird. It's like, that's what I just don't understand. It's like they've ruined my childhood. That is my childhood. I remember coming home from school watching Pokemon. Then after Pokemon, I'll play my Pokemon game. And then I'll look at my Pokemon cards before I go to sleep go, I loved you, Charizard Silver Collector's Edition. And then I'm just like, oh, do the same thing on Wednesday. It was Pokemon. It was fantastic. And then when you get older, of course, there's Digimon and stuff, and that got ruined. But the Digimon game was good, but Pokemon just ruined it. It's ruined every time they bring out another one. And they have the trailers, and when you go into a game, they go, would you like to pre-order the new Pokemon game? And I'm like, no, you ruined it for me. No, I don't want more. And that's it.
I can just vision Kieran being in game, shouting at the TV screen. And then people kind of walking away from him.
Where's Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle? Where are you now? But that's the franchise. Well, that's the type of games what upset me. I can't play them. So.
No. So that's just been a downward slope for you then?
Yeah, it was for childhood. But I think another one as well was on the PlayStation 1, and they brought out Digimon, and where you can have a Digimon follow you, and I was like, this is amazing, this is really cool. Then they brought out Digimon 2000, and then 2003, and it was like it was 2D pixels, and it was just rubbish. And then I just sat there,
right.
It was awful. You could have like three people with you at one time with 3 different Digimon. They can like merge them together. I was like, this is just too confusing. I'm 11. This is not going to be right for me. I want to press the attack button, and that's all I want.
Alright. I never actually got to play any of the Digimon games.
Oh, really?
All I had were those little Digimon Tamagotchi sort of things.
Oh, the first Digimon is fantastic. I remember my Xbox 360 broke, and all I had was my PS1. And I didn't have my PS3 or anything like that. So I pulled out my PS1 and I found Spyro.
Yeah.
Yes, everyone knows Spyro.
Down the pan.
Crash Bandicoot is another one for me. And then it came Digimon. And I had I had Spyro 1 to 3, completed them all within a space of time until my Xbox came back for repair. And then I played also Crash Bandicoot 1 to 3 as well, done all of that. And then came Digimon. I just sat there after I completed all the others, just sat there playing Digimon all the time. But childhoods. I wish I went back to them now.
Yeah. Well, that's all ruined. So all you've got to look forward to now is death.
Oh, death, yeah. Midlife
Wow,
crisis.
that's morbid. That's morbid.
Cold comfort of death is all that waits. Games are only going to get worse.
Right, okay. Talking about on the one before, I was thinking this was a game what I looked forward to, and I played all the old ones, and then it just turned out to be shit the whole way through. And it's Duke Nukem Forever. Yeah. Right,
See,
I'm a bit joking. That game was a pile of crap.
I can't believe I forgot that one, really.
Yeah, I couldn't believe I forgot that one as well. I was thinking, what other game annoyed me? And I looked at it over there. I was just thinking, Duke Nukem.
Oh, Duke, how can I forget you?
Yeah,
I would say Duke Nukem would be on quite a lot of people's lists, so I think some of the choices you've made have been quite good so far.
Yeah, I just say Duke Nukem would be a top one for me, but right, that's my part done. I think I can just go on for forever about Duke Nukem, how it was rubbish.
Yeah. Poor Duke.
Oh,
To be honest, we should put him down.
it should have
But-
been. He should have. They shouldn't. They should have just left him. They shouldn't have brought
Yeah.
another game. They should have just left him.
See,
Like,
when you're seeing perfectly defined breasts jiggling on your screen, you're thinking, this has gone too far.
yeah, and there's not.
I
just two.
miss the pixelized bosoms.
But the thing is, it wasn't a pair. It was a pair. Added another boob, so there's three, and he's just slapping them around, going, "Ooh, tasty!" It's just like, no, Duke, no. It just ruined
I
it.
go where I please, and I please where I go.
And it was just right at the beginning. You could just pick apart, like you could pick up like a shit stick and just lob it at the wall. It's just like,
Yeah.
this is not Duke Nukem for me.
This is South Park right now.
Oh, Duke Nukem is crap.
Oh, I love that man though. So many years wasted.
I know, so many years waiting for that game to come out, and then look what happened.
Yeah.
Be careful what you wish for.
Oh yeah, well I'm not wishing any much for the new Gears of War really.
Yeah?
Gears of War 3 was
No.
my favourite, so I'm looking at what's coming out for Gears of War Judgment, but I'm not too hyped for it at all. I just can't see.
I'll play it. I'll play it.
Yeah, I'll
but
play it. I'll play it just to see what the.
I'm not
campaign
excited
is.
like I was.
I was excited. Like the only Gears I was really excited for was Gears of War 2. I loved
Yeah.
Gears of War 3, Gears of War 1. Then Gears of War 3 came out. I was thinking, I'll play it anyway to see what the campaign is. I knew what was going to happen at the end, and I voted for Carmine to be alive. So I did pay 160 marks of points just to see what happens to Carmine.
Hey, they listen to us, so give it to them.
Yeah, they
So
did.
that's something.
But they did do a side one where Carmine did die, but he died like in the crappiest way ever. He was in the bathtub. No. He was eating bacon, and he had a radio at the end. And he was listening to a song, and the radio just falls into a bath and just electrocutes him. That's the death. That is the death. Boy, like I was so surprised they brought Carbone, like they saved Carbone, but why do they add like one where he dies? It's just stupid.
The reason I knew that Carmine would survive this one is purely because, unlike his two brothers, right, he is like 20 foot tall and has a neck wider than any normal human's torso.
Bigger than Marcus.
It was like Brock Lesnar in Gears of War. I see what you mean.
And all I could think of is, oh yeah, this guy's definitely been eating his Weetabix, so he's gonna survive.
But I was
To be
thinking,
fair
like,
though, you've seen your brother and your cousin or whatever family, whether they're related, they're gone. You're gonna beef up. You're gonna be like, right, okay, this hasn't happened once. This has happened twice. We have the Carmine name. Yeah,
But you suggested it was some kind of Rocky moment.
and I'm gonna do a Rocky montage right now.
I swear they said there's 4 Carmines.
There is, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why when I was thinking, oh, there's gonna be 4 Gears of War, and then they brought out the third one, I was thinking that's the
I
end.
really want them to do a Saving Private Carmine spoof.
Oh, that would be amazing. Like, it couldn't be like, it would be like Hoffman or someone just running in there for you. Like, it'd be so funny. I'd have, Carmine. He's pretty cool. I like in Gears of War 1 when Carmine dies for the first time and goes, my gun keeps jamming, and he gets shot in the head. I'm like, oh, fantastic.
Here's the thing though, right, is Anthony Carmine, right, the first Carmine, was voted everyone's favourite character in the entire Gears of War series.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
I really thought it was bad.
No,
No,
he was the
Anthony
favourite.
Carmine.
He was the mostly played character online multiplayer, and everyone played as him. Even I played as him because he sounded cool. He's just like when your gun gets jammed, he's like, "Oh no!" It's just like, yeah, he's like Carmine. And he was only in the game for like 45 minutes, and he became a massive hit for Gears of War.
Well, it's also because he doesn't look like some inhuman, beefy monster, right? And also, because you can't see his face, you can pretend it's you, you know, and imagine, because to be honest, no person throughout the extent of their imagination is going to imagine they're going to look like Marcus Phoenix,
Oh, no.
who essentially looks like a penis, with all the veins pulsing.
Oh. I just remember in Gears of War 2, it was, you know, I don't know if you've played it, but you had to go down into the hive for the first time, and you get the machine to drill through the wall, and it's like Dom goes, like there's smoke, there's like dust everywhere, and Carmen goes, well, why I wear my helmet because I've got vents in here so I can breathe properly. He says, yeah, it didn't happen to the last one. he couldn't see properly. He's just like, what does that mean? And I just found it funny.
I liked it in number 3 as well, where they kept playing with you, so they were trying to kill him off.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, is he dead now? And you got back up.
Nah.
It's right at the end when a helicopter goes down, and then you see him come out the beach, go, he's alive! He's alive!
Yeah.
I can imagine the call home. It's like, Mom, I'm joining the army. Oh, right. Who are you?
I want to say...
Carmine special, bless him. Carmine is special.
Well, Carmine, the 4th Carmine must die at the end of Gears of War Judgment, or in Judgment. There's no...
Must do.
Why?
Because you don't see him in number 3.
No, here's the thing. No, because in the first game, he says he has 3 brothers, right, who are all alive, and if Judgment is set beforehand, then he's got to be alive in it.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, true, actually.
Yeah.
Ah, good thinking. Good thinking.
It's not just a hat rack.
No, I see what you did there, Watson.
Oh.
Yeah. Alright, okay. Shall we move this one on to Alan?
Yeah, hiya.
So, what franchises do you think have just gone down the shitter?
Believe it or not, I could like go on my high horse about Dead Space 3 again and blah blah blah, and you know, Crew Kieran on Call of Duty. But I'm actually going to pick something from Kieran from my childhood, Banjo-Kazooie series.
I've written that down. I literally just wrote that down.
Oh. Banjo-Kazooie.
I love Banjo-Kazooie. I love Banjo-Tooie. I don't care. I'm a 28-year-old man. I love games like that. I love games which are just silly, colourful fun. I love, you know, the hardcoreness, the grittiness, say, of Spec Ops: The Line. I'm currently playing that, reviewing that for the end of the week. Things like that. I love, you know, the intensity to like Gears of War, those sort of games. But I love colourful, silly games, like on your phone. You can sit on a bus and play those sort of games as well. I think I got really stupidly addicted to Robot Unicorn at one point on my iPhone. Let's not
God.
Fuck, Eraser are the best band ever. Anyway, moving on. But yeah, Banjo-Kazooie, I'm going with my childhood on that. I mean, I enjoyed Banjo-Kazooie, loved Banjo-Tooie, and then I'm just like, fuck me, they're coming back with Banjo game. And then it was like, build your own fucking car, Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh yeah, nuts and bolts, wasn't it?
Oh, I'm nuts and bolts, you director. Who the fuck actually come up with that in the boardroom? Like, you know, we've got a fan base, we've got Rare, you know, license, so to speak, we can still use this game. Let's bring it back. Oh, I know, let's make fucking Micro Machines, fucking Transformers, shall we, with it? Awful fucking idea.
It was actually disgusting, yeah. It was.
It's literally like they got hold of the case for Banjo-Kazooie, opened the case, took a really big crap, shut the case down, and then posted it out to everybody.
Oh, so loads of people like Call of Duty and all that do exactly the same, anyways. But no, Banjo-Kazooie, it was a very big disappointment for Nuts and Bolts. Because you had to get blueprints, didn't you? And
it was a stupid fucking idea, and you just, I'm sorry, if I want to fucking play a racing game, I'll put Forza on. If I want to, you know, maybe sit there and play with fucking Lego bricks, I'll play Lego fucking Star Wars. I do not want to put the two fucking things with a quality game like Banjo-Kazooie. Okay, it's a kids game, but that game is freaking awesome.
That is such a big fan base as well, and they completely ruined the name with that game. I'm going to say it, if that had come out on a Nintendo console, that would have been completely different. That wouldn't have gone that way. That would have actually, it would have been a good game. Definitely would have.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Because they made it multi-platform and ruined it.
It's because Microsoft bought Rare, so Nintendo can't publish anything from Rare, and Banjo-Kazooie was originally on N64, obviously.
Yeah.
And so I reckon if Microsoft hadn't bought Rare, then...
But it was their choice. They could have gone with a 3D platform game. They could have gone with Banjo-Kazooie Part 3, but they chose to go down this route. I remember watching something on game trailers on an interview, and they said that we're choosing to go down this route. Why are you choosing to go down this route? What are you fucking thinking?
It seems to me like they were making a completely different game, but they only had like the mechanic for the game built, and then they thought, oh, we're going to actually need something to fill this in. So, alright, let's find a franchise. I know, what's everyone forgotten about? I know, Banjo-Kazooie, let's use that one.
Awful.
If Conker's Bad Fur Day ever makes a return, that'll be a good day.
That was an amazing game.
It was absolutely beautiful.
I like Conker Live and Reloaded.
I was about to say, Live and Reloaded.
That was amazing.
Live and Reloaded.
Monster singing.
It was so much before it's time as well. Did you ever play the multiplayer, so to speak?
Yeah.
Right. It was basically Team Fortress 2, right? And it had so many great things in it, but it had vehicles that needed to fully operate and fully stock up. You needed at least 8 people. If you're on the GameCube, you haven't got 8 people.
It's like in like Conquer Live and Reloaded, the maps were fantastic. Like, do you remember the D-Day Beach when you?
Yeah, that was amazing.
That's the best map. That's the best map, and they've done everything right in that game. But I kind of want them to remake it and put it on the Xbox. But
I would love for them to remake that game.
Well, there's something they did do right, Microsoft. They re-released the Banjo-Kazooie series in HD, didn't they? You can download it to Xbox, and I like that. So I'll give Microsoft their dues on that. Thank you for that. I'm able to play them again. I just can't believe you shat all over the series. That's it. Because they've seen the publicity. They've seen how much money they made out of it. It's dead now. That ain't coming back. I wish it would, but that ain't coming back. Not anytime soon.
That's a problem with Microsoft. They kill a lot of good characters.
Yeah.
They do. Like, again, Duke Nukem was a big one. Banjo-Kazooie. They have killed. Also, Prince of Persia. Prince of Persia's been ruined as well. So
the Heroes Guild from Fable.
Oh yeah. Don't
killed off all the heroes.
So do you think? Sorry, Toby. One question. Do you think if Banjo went on the Nintendo, we wouldn't have got nuts and bolts?
No, because I think they would have had more input. Like Nintendo side would have, because with Microsoft, the way I see it, how they work, it seems the only thing they're interested in, sounds stupid because it's a company, obviously, is making money. But that's one of the reasons. Obviously, they want to make money, but I mean, that more so than the fact they're making a quality game. So they would preside money over a quality game. Whereas if I was like a games developer / creator, I would be the other way around.
They should ask their fans first before releasing a game. They should give some gameplay out, or give someone who's a big fan base on that genre of game or that type of game to play it and go, yeah, this is a good game. Or they just go, no, it's shit. Let's restart it all over again. That's what they should do, but they don't. They just go, oh, it looks like a really good game. Let's put it in a box and put it on the shelf.
Well, I think it's also when they ditch the directors or, get rid of the old team, bring on a new team, that's when it all goes wrong. It's why loads of sequels of old games end up sucking, right? Yeah. And also, the same with films, I suppose. I mean, going back to Alien, right? Alien's 3, and, oh my god, Aliens Resurrection.
Oh,
right?
no.
Where the fuck was Ridley Scott for that one?
Is that the one where you get a human alien at the end?
I've only seen 1 and 2.
The newborn, yeah.
Oh my god.
Right, no, if you've only seen 1 and 2, Toby, you have won. You've won at life.
I will not watch the others.
Don't.
One was one of my favourite ones.
Oh my god, I forgot about Alien Resurrection. Oh, wow.
It might as well have been made by Baz Luhrmann, and it was so camp. It was literally, what do we need? Some colours!
Brilliant.
I was expecting like a carnival to break out.
I thought they were going to sing and dance at the end. I thought they were going to be top hats and sticks at the ending.
Talking about the companies will take over previous games and make them rubbish. There's only one game so far what I've seen people have taken over and they've done really well with, and that was Halo 4. And I sat there and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was okay. It was good. It did feel like there was something missing. I will say that. I said that in my review ages ago. But yeah, it was good. I'm looking forward to another trilogy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well because I like Halo 1 and Halo 2.
Yeah.
I didn't like Halo 3. The campaign for me it wasn't good. And I know it doesn't agree with a lot of people. People like Halo, and Halo 3 was apparently one of the best ones. But then they brought out crap after, like ODST and Reach. And
I had no problems with ODST and Reach.
So I didn't mind Reach. I didn't really like ODST. I thought Reach was pretty good.
I think I'm the only person who liked ODST.
You are.
Then again, its subtitle should have been Halo ODST. Let's get the cast of Firefly.
So they should have brought ODST as like a DLC content, like they should have done with New Vegas for Fallout. That's what they should have done. But
I was just waiting for like a Western guitar to go on it. Take my love, take my land, take me where I cannot. And I was like,
brilliant. What I want to add on as well is maybe not the fact that it's got down the pan, but I'd love for it to return to its roots. Just as a side game, the original Grand Theft Auto. The original top-down Grand Theft Auto. I would love for that. I love the 3D one. I'm really looking forward to GTA 5. But I would love a top-down version in like my Xbox at HD or another version of that.
Why would you want that in HD?
Yeah.
Well, not even that. Just to be able to play it all over again. I don't just mean on the
It was an
laptop or
amazing
the
game.
old. The amount of hours I spent in my childhood playing that, and I wasn't even allowed. It was illegal. I was 18, wasn't it? So.
Well, I remember when I was young enough to say, when they're going, asshole, I'm just thinking, what did they say? It said apple. Ah, okay.
Oh, I remember another one, like last video, you were saying about Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy has gone down the pan for me. But, right, a lot of people liked 7, and again, 7 was my favourite. Number 9 was my favourite. Number 9 was by far yeah, number 9 was fantastic for me. I really enjoyed it, but...
Yeah, I'm the same. Mine actually was number 8. It's nobody's as number 8, but I found number 8 in terms of the graphics, in terms of gameplay, it was a step up. It really was.
But then
I liked whichever game where the main character wasn't a 10-year-old.
Yeah,
with spiky weird hair.
I love the Final Fantasy game, right, where the character doesn't have spiky hair. Do you remember that one? No, you don't.
No, I remember. I know one. Phoebe from Final Fantasy 9. He has a hat on the whole way through.
James.
So,
I quite like 10, mostly because it has an old guy who's all kind of jaded and stuff, which is the character I always gravitate to because I love miserable old men.
I like Final Fantasy 10.
The chat rooms for that, James.
I like Final Fantasy 10 for the Blitzball game.
Oh, yeah, that was quite cool.
That was really cool. I really liked the idea of that. I don't know why they just didn't add it on for more, or.
There were talks of having that. There were talks of having and spinning that one off.
I was amazed that they actually somehow managed to sneak FIFA into that fucking game. Without anyone noticing.
Oh, FIFA's all the same anyway.
But, yeah. Alright, Toby, how's about you?
Well,
what series do you reckon have gone awful? Or just had games that have ruined them?
Yeah, I was going to say Banjo-Kazooie, but we already mentioned that, so
it's fine, you can
I'll
say
move
that.
on to Rayman. But,
Rayman?
Yeah, it's a bit of a backwards one, because he fell down the pan with his spin-offs of the old Raven Rabbids, when that's got his name on it. He's hardly even in the flipping game anyway, and all you do is more waggling. Why did they even make them games? They said they were really good, but they're not. I don't understand how they're good, because you can play one of the mini games for about 2 seconds, and like you don't even know what you're doing half the time because all you're doing is waggling. I'm not a fan of the wagglers. but I have to say, Rayman Origins was a return to form.
Oh, fantastic.
Rayman Origins, and I can't wait for Legends, although they are absolutely stupid for delaying it, if anyone's heard.
Yeah,
What
I
a
heard
bunch of... No, I'm not even going to say.
You can, go ahead.
They are just absolute poo heads, that's all I'm going to say. Poo heads.
They're Duke Nukems.
And then,
yeah,
that just got me really riled up. I was excited for Rayman Legends. I'll still buy the game, but they have gone down in my eyes.
Toby, I was thinking of Rayman as well. I was thinking of Rayman Raving Rabbit. I was thinking, I remember Rayman 1 and Rayman 2 Escape the Pirate.
Rayman 2, yeah, it was good.
Yeah, that was really good.
The Great Escape. Although it got re-released about 10 times in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
It's really had so many.
And then Rayman 3, that was okay. It
Yeah, Hoodlum Havoc.
Right, yeah. And it was just the end boss, but then Rayman Raving Rabbits, it's like, what's the point in these rabbits? What?
That's a bit like the Banjo-Kazooie affair again. Like, what's going on? How is this anything to do with Rayman? Yeah.
But they did release Rayman again, and it brought all that memory back. And you had played Rayman before. Like, they went back to the original Rayman and put it to 2D. And
Origins was actually awesome.
Yeah.
I was thinking as well, when you're saying about old studios working with, taking over from old franchises. Yeah. I think things that work well probably when they combine, like old studios collaborate with new ones. Because one would spring to mind would be Retro Studios worked on Metroid Other M, and that was a combination. Although that was a lot of I'd say it's a bad example, but to me, I thought that was a really good game. And then, yeah, I thought the actual gameplay was really fun, and
they managed to turn one of the strongest female characters
the narration was
into a whiny, crying bitch.
Yeah, she was. I think it was all in the story. They let the story just go, but
Team Ninja.
They also Retro Studios worked on Donkey Kong Country Returns, which is what I was going to say. That's a really good example of how two studios can combine, because that was so difficult, that game. Like, I don't know if anyone's played it, but it's ridiculously hard. And the time trials, like trying to get the gold medals, I don't know. You have to be like a wizard just to vanish and teleport one into the other. It's so difficult.
They were crazy.
But it was a really good game. Yeah, so let's try that bit in there.
Sorry.
No, you go.
I was just thinking, a company was taking over another company. Do you like True Crime? True Crime was a big one.
True Crime.
And True Crime was okay, and they brought up True Crime New York, and it was just like, what's going on here? But they went away, and they went away for quite some time developing True Crime Tokyo, or whatever it's called. Hong Kong. That was it. And they didn't have the funding, did they? So Square Enix pretty much brought them out and worked with them, and they made a fantastic game. Yeah. That was by far one of my
Sleeping Dogs.
Sleeping Dogs. That was one of my
dogs bollocks.
It was fantastic. I 1000G'd the game. I went for all the collectibles. There was so much to do in that game. I just sat there and I was thinking, this is fantastic. The combat worked right. The driving was fantastic. The cars were cool. Everything was so cool. You could pick up fishes and just slap people around. It was awesome.
I loved it. I loved the fact that the DLC, they tried something different. I do love it, because people are releasing the zombies, and every game's got zombies, and, Borderlands went different. They had the pirates. They come up with, sort of soul demons, things you would see. Did you ever see a movie from Big Trouble Little China?
Yeah.
It was basically that. It was basically the DLC of the cheesiest Kurt Russell movie you will ever see in your entire lifetime. Kieran, get a hold of the movie. Big Trouble. The best. Big Trouble in Little China, and it's basically the DLC of Sleeping Dogs, and it's freaking awesome. Watch that movie. Everybody watch that movie.
I have a shrine to Lopan in my flat.
I was thinking of another film, Battle Royale. They should just get all the children.
No, that would not work. That would not work.
That would go bad instantly. That wouldn't go out on the market because you can't kill children in games, so that won't happen.
They get Ike where it's like everyone goes nuts when Lara Croft gets like a bit of a kerfuffle with a bloke, right, in camp, right? How are they gonna feel when they say, "Oh yeah, that game, that film, where a bunch of Japanese children have to kill each other or their heads explode," right? And it's like,
do you know what made me laugh about that movie? Okay, they saw what would happen if they didn't do it, but technically they killed each other really quickly. It's like, right, okay, yep, we're just going to go out and be murderers now. There was no, question of morality or anything. In a real situation like that, you'd at least contemplate the situation.
No, that's
next thing you know,
that's an amazing film.
It is an amazing movie, but next thing you know, it's just like introduction, and then they all go off slaughtering each other.
Is this film like The Hunger Games?
Yeah.
The Hunger Games was basically a rip-off.
Yeah, it wasn't. The Hunger Games wasn't violent. It was like a little soft-core porn, instead of the hardcore porn from Battle Royale. Like at the beginning of Battle Royale, when they
Kieran, you need new porn.
Oh, I'm not even joking.
No, he does not.
Shut up, man.
I thought about when I watched Hunger Games. I thought the same thing about the people. They suddenly get on the island and they're like, "Right, we're killers. Yeah, we weren't killers before, but now we're going to kill you all." Like, you wouldn't think that. You just wouldn't.
You'd at least have some contemplation.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be like, right, should I really?
The book and the manga go into it better.
Yeah, that's true.
The book goes very much into it.
In Battle Royale in the first one, when there's a fat kid what runs out the room and has a crossbow, and this girl comes up behind him, stabs him and just takes the crossbow. I'm like, you just left the room. How did you just kill him? I was like, what's going on? And it's just like when all these girls are sitting around this table, and one of them gets poisoned, and they think it's everyone else, and it's like a massacre what happens in this room.
It's like Reservoir Dog Shootout, but with really, whingy Japanese girls. It was like, what the fuck?
The second one wasn't as good as the first one.
No,
though.
You have to take one important thing into account, though. These are school children, right? Who are the most cruel, sadistic fuckers in the world. To be honest, if you just put a gun in... actually, that's a tricky conversation to go into. I was going to say, if you put a gun in a school, shit's going wrong.
Dude.
That is going to be edited out.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not. I'll put an 18 rating on it again.
But, I mean, shit's gonna go wrong if you give teen girls and guys guns.
Oh, I can't believe you said it.
Oh, fuck, man, I can't believe you just said that.
I tried not to!
It just happened, okay? It just happened.
I tripped and fell.
I fell inside that beautiful metaphor. But, alright. Back on track.
Back on track.
Oh, I don't think I can.
Alright. Well, if we're gonna go for me, I'm gonna have to go, say, the most tragic slow death of a franchise has got to be our favourite blue speed machine, Sonic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It is it is getting depressing now.
Yeah.
It's like when you see old ladies going out in like thongs and stuff. It's just why?
They brought so many games out now for Sonic. Like I remember the game I got from Game Station was Shadow the Hedgehog, and it was a spin-off of Sonic, and I was just like, this is pretty crap. Actually.
That's the one with guns.
He had guns.
Yeah, that's the one with guns. Yeah.
You know it's bad when your main protagonist, Sonic, has to join a Mario game. It wasn't the other way. It wasn't Mario joining a Sonic game. It was Mario. It was Sonic joining Mario.
Yeah.
You know for a fact that's who it was.
I don't understand, but there's so many games that don't make sense. Why does Sonic need a cart? Right? He's the fastest creature on the planet. Why does he need to drive?
True.
It's just... and, like, if you actually...
And a big cat.
Alright, raise of hands. raise of hands, people who've actually played some of the more recent Sonic games. Anyone? No? Yep.
I'm not going to touch him.
Right.
I'm not going to touch him at all.
What was the last game AJ played for Sonic?
I like the one where it went back to form with the 2D. That was good.
Generations, yeah.
But then that's not reinventing anything. That's kind of going back to form like they should have done in the first place. But I guess before that, it would have been the RPG one. The one where I have to go around and go... is that the one? Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
It was like, right, instead of Sonic zapping around the place, we're going to slow him down. He's going to walk everywhere. He's going to go to places like Tesco's and the National History Museum. He's going to shop around and he's going to do other things that, you know, apparently a hedgehog would do. And you're like, no, I just want to go fast and collect rings. I don't want to fucking, you know, be on a shopping list and, you know, go...
You make it sound as if hedgehogs actually go fast and collect rings normally. You realise they don't do that either.
They do! No, what I'm trying to say is I prefer... Yeah.
Oh, you are my jewellery!
I'm sorry, touche, Toby. Very good. Very good.
The last one I played was the rings one, the secret rings. That was awful. On rails, what was going on there?
Oh, that was out for the Wii, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was horrible.
Ring. Oh, I haven't played that, no. Oh.
I
didn't even bother completing it.
For me, I enjoyed Sonic Adventure, right? Sonic Adventure 2, right? But even then, even though Sonic Adventure 2 is one of my favourite games that was on the GameCube/Dreamcast, right? But even I have to admit, it's so awful, right? And that I think that was the turning point. Sonic Adventure 2 was the turning point when, Team Sonic decided, you know what? We're tired of Sonic. You know, we're stuck with this name. We want to make Final Fantasy games, right? If you look at any of these games, like the openings, there's always like weird shit going on. There's like weird romances going on between weird anthropomorphized hedgehogs that move at the speed of sound and like 15-year-old girls, and I'm just thinking, what happened? How did this change from a guy who used to move forward really, really fast, and he used to save woodland creatures, right, to now I'm saving the galaxy from some ancient evil, and I have to get laid on the way or something, and...
To be fair, it would be the quickest sex ever. It's Sonic the Hedgehog. It'll zip past you before you know it. Your pants are down. It's like before you know it, you're pregnant.
You don't want to mention that with like the 15-year-old girls that feature in his games, because of course they're trying to be Final Fantasy games, so every other character's got to be underage. But it's just disturbing. And Generations was a good game, but that was the point when I realised it was just tragic.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, one thing a lot of people have been commenting on is the biggest punchline for the whole game, because the premise of the game is the new Sonic goes back in time, or gets trapped in this time zone and meets the old Sonic, right? Like, who's meant to be young Sonic, so to speak, right? And at the very end of the game, Sonic says, "Don't worry, you've got a great future ahead of you," or something along those lines. How wrong he was. It's just flash forward 10 years, and it's got Sonic with a syringe in his arm. It's just so depressing. What? Sonic and Knuckles was the last good Sonic game. That's the all and end all.
Knuckles was wicked character bring in.
Oh yeah. And then there was like Sonic Chaotix, if you ever played that one.
No.
Oh, good. But either way, I'm going to stop moaning about depressing changes from the old times. We've done quite a fair bit of retro bashing, essentially.
Yeah, it's been quite a few, like Pokemon and all that, coming up. So
but,
quite interesting.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't expect some of the answers. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was quite good. All right. Alright, for our next one, right, Kieran?
Yep.
Right. What would you say is your most, not depressing, but disappointing game moment?
Disappointing
This
moment.
can be anything that can happen in the game. It could be story-wise, it could be just gameplay, it could be anything.
It could
just
be
anything to do with games that you just thought, oh, fuck.
Right. Okay. It's not a storyline part of the game. It's a part of the game what has pissed me off.
Okay.
It's a Call of Duty game. Okay?
Yep.
Call of Duty World at War on veteran difficulty was a piece of piece of crap. I hated it so much. It was just grenade indicators everywhere. There's a mission where you have to go through these trenches to get to this objective. You spend about 3 hours just being bombarded by grenades, and you don't know how many times I die, you don't know how many times I punched the wall next to me. I just got frustrated. And that's the part, I could just sort of imagine it now. I've got it over there, still need to complete it. I'm not going to do it because it just pisses me off, because I will actually burst a vein in my head. Because, it's so annoying when it comes up to, you're just starting again, and you're like playing a checkpoint, you go, yes, I got to a checkpoint, grenade, and you just keep getting the grenade and the grenade. But it's like what I was saying about Fallout, is when you walk through a door, you have a tiny piece of health, and it auto saves, and there's a massive creature in the vault, and it slaps you, and you have to like load it back up again, and it slaps you again because you don't have enough time to leave the vault, so you're stuck there being slapped around by this huge monster. That's another thing what pisses me off. It's not the stories what really piss me off. I try and bear the stories, but it's what happens in the game, like gameplay. That's what really frustrates me. But everything else was just fine. It is mainly shoot 'em up games what really frustrate me, especially with the checkpoint system. Like I think it was in Hitman Absolution. It was so obvious as what was going to happen and how everything was going to end, because it's just everything was run on a storyline. It was all on a rail. What was going to happen, but on the other games, anything can happen. That how you want to do the mission, but in Absolution, you're stuck in this area until you do it.
Yeah.
Or on Blood Money, you can like poison fish. You can do this. You can do that. And if you don't do it properly, you can still go to the next level, but you can go back to it later. But on Absolution, you have to do it that way. If you don't, you will fail the mission. And that's what really just annoyed me. It's stuff about the game, but not the storyline.
Alright. Alan, what would you say was your biggest disappointment in a game?
I'm kind of going with Kieran. It's kind of like not disappointing, frustrating. I think really is when your save file gets corrupt.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
So a story for me recently was I was going through Fear, you know, the original Fear on the Xbox, and I never ever played on the Xbox. So I used to play it on the PC because I love first person. I do with keypad and mouse. I love that. But anyway, I want to play it on the Xbox anyway, and I started it years ago. I must have got about 5G on it or something, and I wanted to go through and do it because I completed it on the PC anyway. And I was going for the achievement where you don't die, you complete the whole game without dying. So like if you die or something, you got to go back to the dashboard and things like that. So anyway, I book out a weekend so I can complete this game. I've not got much planned anyway that weekend, so I'm like, I'm going to plow through it. I'm going to come away with about 600, 700 points, all well and good, and I'm not going to play it again. I'm done. So I'm getting there, and I'm going through the checkpoints, and I'm not dying, and I'm playing on a harder difficulty and everything. I'm taking my time, basically. It's like you were saying before we were on the air about those sort of games where you go for achievements. It's just stages, not playing.
Yeah.
But I played before anyway. So I'm nine and a half chapters in. So the game's 11 chapters. The last chapter doesn't count. It's like a I won't spoil it for people, but it's just like a movie you play basically. So I had about one chapter and a half left till I completed it. Till I completed the whole game. I hadn't died. I hadn't used any like what do you call it? Your fuel or your more health packs than needed. So I was going for a good couple of achievements, and I get to a point halfway through chapter 9, the console crashes. So I'm like, fuck.
Nice.
So being known to me that this is apparently an error, and in order to get through this, you have to then delete your save file. I had to go online and Google it. And then you have to install the game. If it's not installed, you have to delete it and then reinstall it, and then it should work. And apparently on this checkpoint, loads of people had crashed, so I didn't even know this. So you can imagine me, I'm 9.5 chapters in, I've spent the weekend, this is a Sunday night, I got work the next day, I'm ready to finish this now. Crashes. So I'm like, right, fair enough. Turn the console off, turn it back on, save file corrupt. What?
Oh, no.
Save file corrupt. So I'm doing what you should do, I'm copying it over to a memory stick, maybe that will get it working. Be known to me, nothing. There's nothing you can do. You have to delete the save file, delete the game off your hard drive, and then reinstall, and then do it again. And I was lost for words. I wasn't angry. I didn't punch anything. You know, at a point where you're just like, I'm exhausted. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go to bed now. I can't be bothered. But then you lay in bed so frustrated that you just want to
you're that angry. You actually have no emotion. I could have wrecked the entire flat. I could have done so much, but it wouldn't have helped because there's no fucking way it was ever coming back. In the end, though, I woke up the next morning. I'm just like, right, I'm going to do it. I started out, I'm going to. So then basically that week, an hour each night, I picked it. And trust me, it was the scariest thing in my life. When I got to that door, which fucking crashed the first ever time, and I got through it, I was like, yes! And I completed the game, I walked away, I completed the game without dying, all the other stuff. But yeah, for me, the most disappointed or the most frustrating thing is when you're going at something, and it crashes, and you get a save, and you lose everything, and you can't get it back. That's it. You've got to start from scratch. It's got to be the most... It's like ripping your heart out.
And then you have to reformat all this stuff, and it deletes it. Yeah, it's horrible.
But when you're near the end, that was worse. I was there. I was there. Oh man.
That's just awful. All right, Toby. What about you? What was your most disappointing moment ever?
Oh my god. I can't even think of an actual. It sounds weird, but I can't actually think of a disappointing.
Not even in a story or something.
I can think of moments where I've thought, what the fuck? What actual... In a story, yeah. One that springs to mind, I don't know if anyone's played it. House of the Dead Overkill on the Wii.
Oh, no, I haven't played it. No.
Oh my god, the ending. I don't understand how they even managed to put it in a game. It's the weirdest thing, like the weirdest story ever.
Can you explain it? The ending?
Well, I don't want to give anything away.
I don't. If it's as bad as you say, I doubt anybody's going to go and play it.
The thing is that it's not a bad game. It's just the way it was kind of what's that word advertised. Right. It was kind of like a low B-rate movie with grainy cinematics. It's supposed to look really shit, basically, but the whole storyline. Oh my god, it's so weird. I don't even. Should I just say then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, But the main character, cut a long story short, ends up climbing inside his own mum's womb. Which I don't even understand why you'd even think of that in a game. Like, I wasn't even expecting it. There's no indication that was going to happen. You're literally just at the end and you think, right, okay. I'm pretty sure it's also got the record for the most F-bombs in a game.
That mum has the biggest bucket fanny ever.
Well, yeah, she's like a weird she's been deformed into a weird like experiment. But it was so weird. I was just like, I don't understand.
It's not even like an artistic thing then.
No,
it literally climbs in.
He literally climbs in, yeah.
I thought we were talking like some kind of like train spotting.
No,
like,
he literally climbs in her womb. He just goes back up in there and just sits there for a while, and it's just
has a cup of tea.
That's like also in Eternal Darkness.
What do you mean just sits there for a while? He doesn't do anything.
Well, no, he doesn't actually just sit there for a while. I mean, the game ends off.
I was about to say, he pulls out like a DS Lite and he's sat there going, I'm just sitting in my mum's womb. I'm going to kill you, Pokemon.
It's completely weird. I was just like, what the flipping hell's just happened there? And one of the other ones was Eternal Darkness, because it decides to turn your volume down in your TV, and then it like you've got a sanity meter, and it starts making your TV go weird, and it turns your volume down, and it makes your picture go upside down. Oh, it's odd.
It's quite, that was quite immersive, I thought.
Yeah, I thought it was good, but it's a very weird one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't really think of much disappointment. The only annoyances are the camera, which I explained in a previous video. So
yeah.
I'm not going to go on about camera angles much, but yeah, camera angles are pretty shoddy if they're not in the right way. They're pointing behind you mainly, not in your face, so you can't actually see anything apart from the flipping character's nose. That's the worst thing.
Or it's like stuck in one position. Like,
yeah, so you can't move it.
Yeah, you can't move it. But, like, do you know if you ever played Fahrenheit?
Fahrenheit,
yeah, really good game. But the camera angle in that was so annoying. It was getting stuck in you're like a security camera in a corner of the room, and you can't move the camera, and you have to like walk.
That's like the old Resident Evils where you can't actually see what you're shooting, and you've got like the camera angle's like halfway down the corridor, and you're at the other end.
But the thing with the old Resident Evils is they knew that was part of the scare. They did that on purpose. I remember in Resident Evil 2 where there was a glitch where you could use a shotgun with Leon and you could shoot the camera.
Now it's so difficult.
You could get it so the camera come in front of you and you could blow the camera and put holes in the camera.
Oh, really?
It was a glitch. It was like something, but they knew that you could do that. That's why they put it in there. And they used the camera angles in a way with Resident Evil to scare you.
Yeah.
Oh shit, there's something behind me, I need to look behind me. No, we're not letting you do that. But it's really, I need to look back. Nope, you're not allowed. But look, I can turn my head. Nope, you're not doing it. That's Resident Evil
the thing.
for you.
That's what's ruined all the other Resident Evils. Resident Evil 5 was rubbish.
And 6.
And I've started playing 6.
No, I don't like it.
I think it's okay. It's better than 5. It's a lot better than 5. AI are smarter in this one.
Yeah. The
storylines are pretty cool. If you get one board of one storyline, you can go into a different storyline.
Yeah, that's quite good.
That's really cool. But number 5 was just appalling. I hated it. And especially, what's her name? Shiva? Or Shilva? Yeah. My word, she was an idiot, because she would have pretty much have full health and she'll still use like a green spray on her. You'd be like, what the hell? You can save that. I'm doing it on the hardest difficulty. Save it, bitch. So I just used to give her all the ammo and stuff.
That was for me!
Yeah. I'd use her as like a secondary slot, so I could put all my ammo in her. And then I'll have all like the herbs and I said ammo in there, right? But I'll have all the herbs.
That's where the inventory is.
It's in a womb.
You know. Like,
Trying to get up there and never mind.
Alright. But yeah, so for Toby it's House of the Dead's ending.
Yeah, and camera angles.
Yeah.
By the time this would have come out, everybody would have seen James's rant on the Evil Dead movie.
No,
House of Dead. House of Dead movie.
It still can't be bad as the fucking movie for House of the Dead.
That will go up, and by the time this one comes out, you would have seen that by now if you follow our series. And trust me, the rant is amazing. I was crying in laughter.
I almost wept blood.
He'll have his own part just for that rant. It was amazing. It's really good.
Alright. Well, now I've been conjured up depressing memories. We'll go on for that one. Alright, my most my most disappointing moments, I'd have to say, was one of two. Either when I was playing StarCraft 2 for the first time in, was it 11, 12 years? And I was just, well, that's when it came out since the last first game. And I was excited for this, I was waiting for it, it was beautiful, it was a great game. And it got to the end, and as the old games was, you complete one campaign, it would unlock the next, so you can say, oh, I beat the Terrans, now I can play as the Protoss. I was like, okay, so let's play as the Zerg or the Protoss. Oh, I don't seem to have unlocked them. Wait a minute. Let's look at the files a sec. It's not here, is it? It's been 12 years, and they haven't released the full fucking game! Right, and then after a little typing away on Google, to be confirmed for the first of another 2 expansions for the other 2 fucking stories. Right, now it's coming out within the next month, right, for the second installment of 3, and then another 2 fucking 3 years for that, next one after that.
I swear StarCraft 2's been out for a long time.
It has! Yes. It really has! And they still haven't finished it! They literally gave us a demo. Right? They're like, so you want to see if you like StarCraft 2? We'll give you one third of the game to see if you like it.
And the thing is, you have to pay full price for a normal game just so you can play that part of the game.
Oh, I pre-ordered that shit and everything as well. And
that's harsh.
I was just... They are releasing one game over 6 years. Right, so, in fact, no, they're not releasing... It didn't take them 12 years to release StarCraft 2, it's taking them 18!
Oh my god.
Those selfish, money-hoarding fucks at Blizzard who probably wipe their own ass with £50 notes. Right? Because the reason for this is simple. They don't give a shit. They're like, you know what, we make almost £1 billion a year off fucking World of Warcraft. Why do we need to give a shit about anything anyone wants? I have a bath made of molten gold.
All their money does come from World of Warcraft, though. I swear that everyone who works at Blizzard has to work on World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
I know.
It's their biggest money-making game, pretty much. And the expansions that come out, I just keep hearing worse and worse things about it. That's the thing.
Did you see the new expansion? It was Kung Fu. Yeah, it was Kung Fu Panda with an attitude problem. It's it was just what are you doing? This is Kung Fu. You may as well be cheesy. You're not gonna have a serious fucking panda. Come on, seriously.
No, they were in the original Warcraft games. That's
yeah. I had a depressing.
But
to have its own DLC, whatever you call it.
I had a depressing conversation with one of my friends a while back. Right, he was saying, I actually wasn't very well acquainted with League of Legends. Right, my friend was telling me about it, and he goes, oh yeah, basically, it's you remember that RTS they made based on World of Warcraft? I was like, you mean Warcraft? You mean the actual game that made World of Warcraft? But either way, I mean, I can't believe they just didn't finish the fucking game. And my second disappointment. I'm not sure if this counts as a story disappointment or just the fact that the game was on 3 fucking discs and it lasted maybe a couple hours, was Rage.
Oh, okay.
Rage was an amazing game. Right, I'll stress that. It had all of its mechanics down to a T. It was brilliant, and I was almost convinced by the amount of discs that it would last more than one sit-through. And it was also a bit of a piss-take ending, right? Because you have your first place, your first hub, right? You do a few missions from that, then you can eventually go on to your next one, then a third one, and by this point you're thinking, oh, there's going to be quite a lot of these. They're going to happen every couple hours. I'm going to have a new city or town to go in to get my missions from, right? And by that point, I'm like, okay, now there's this mission where I have to lead an attack on the big bad guy's base, and it's literally press a button. As part of the mission, I press the button, and then flash and maybe a minute and a half cutscene, and then credits. And it doesn't even explain. It basically says, everything's gonna be all right.
So we're not going to make another one then?
I don't know. I don't know. If they do, I mean, I wouldn't mind it because it was a good game. It was a beautiful game as well. I mean, it was a Skyrim takes maybe 4 gigabytes to install on your hard drive. Rage takes 20 gigabytes to install.
Yeah.
Really?
Like its graphics is beautiful, and it was a great game. Like things like you felt your gunshots, whereas most games you can pull your trigger, you don't even understand it. You pull your trigger on this with a Magnum, it hits a guy in the shoulder, he's gonna flop backwards halfway before he runs towards you. Right? You feel like you're actually making an impact. It was a really good game, and it had lots of little mini games and little features and card collection and all sorts. It was great, but then you just think, oh, you bastards. Really? Right, I'm playing for X amount of hours, I've been getting more and more invested in it, thinking, oh, this is great. Oh, this is really fucking great. Oh, yeah! And then literally it's just gone. What? I don't even understand what just happened. But on a whole, it was a good game, just they fucked us over with the ending, and it should have been at least 3 times longer. But, alright, this is gonna lead me a bit on to another one since I enjoyed this one. Next question. Right, we'll try and rush through this one a bit, but games that you thought were going to be shit, or games you hoped were going to be shit, that you ended up playing and actually really liked. Okay, so, Kieran, you first.
I have 2 games.
2 games, yeah?
For the 360. One is Mirror's Edge.
Yeah?
Mm.
Yeah. I was expecting to be really crap and horrible to play. And I worked at Game Station at the time, so I played it at work and I was thinking, it's actually really quite a cool game. It's never been done before. The only closest thing came out after, and that's Assassin's Creed. There was no free running.
You mean the parkour running, don't you?
Yeah, and it really worked really well because the triggers on the game, I was thinking that should be really difficult. It wasn't going to work properly. But if you want to go down something, you press the left trigger. If you want to go up something, you press the right trigger. You do certain things. And the idea of the game, you're not meant to kill anyone at all. So the idea is you have to run away from them. I was thinking, that's really cool. I think it could be a really awesome idea. My second game is a game I've already spoke about already. I wasn't expecting a big thing from this game because I knew it was going to be like on like the old game, True Crime, Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah.
Sleeping Dogs was a real big. It impressed me a lot, and it took me a good couple of days just to get through the campaign because I didn't want to rush through the campaign. I wanted to do everything on the side first, and I loved every second of it. I didn't play any other game apart from that game. And I was in the party with my friends. They were like, "You keep playing Sleeping Dogs quite a lot." I'm like, "It's a really good game," and I got them to all buy it. And they were like, "Actually, it's a really good game." I was thinking, it's a hidden treasure. And then once I told people it's not a hidden treasure anymore, it's out there and everyone knows that it's a really good game. But at the start, people weren't thinking it's going to be a great game, but it looks nice. The combat flows really nicely. The combat flows just like in Batman Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
It flows really nicely. And same with Arkham City. Arkham City was way too big, but it still was really nice looking, and the combat was exactly the same as the first one, which, going off topic, that was also really good. But Sleeping Dogs was fantastic. It was by far the best game I played last year.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright,
That's why I'm looking forward to GTA, to see if they can beat that Sleeping Dog. If they don't beat Sleeping Dogs, I will say hands down Sleeping Dogs is the best sandbox game.
It's a different kettle of fish though, really, isn't it? Because, I mean, Sleeping Dogs was, you know, a martial artsy game as well as everything else. I mean, you're not going to get that in a GTA game.
No. You just get a one-punch hit and you get shooting and that's it. You don't have to use guns in Sleeping Dogs. Mainly you have to use martial arts. And you can use the scenery as your combat ground. Like there's parts where you, in the starting point of the game, you have to put a shutter down onto someone's head and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. That's really smart. And you can put like someone's head into like a generator.
I found Sleeping Dogs to have like a homage to Shenmue. Did you ever play that one back on the Dreamcast?
I thought it was very John Woo based games like Stranglehold.
Yeah, but it had.
Oh yeah, Stranglehold. I like Stranglehold as well. Like the first bit when you have to like you jump on this little mini cart, you can shoot really slow mo.
Yeah,
that was really cool. That was a really nice little aspect into the game. But I still preferred Sleeping Dogs.
My only qualms with Sleeping Dogs were that there wasn't a great deal to do in this big open world, and like, because the combat was so great, I wanted to go around looking for fights, and there aren't any, right? I mean, if you want to fight, you have to like beat up an old lady and wait for the police to come.
Oh, you just run away from the police because they're too overpowered, so you can't stand your ground.
And it's like, they don't want a fist fight; they just want to shoot you.
Well, when I was trying to
it's like the proper police.
Like another thing as well, which worked really nicely, not talking about the combat, was jumping onto other cars. You can jump from one car to the other to hijack it, and that really worked really well. It was very smooth. There wasn't jolty when something happens. I like that. That was a nice little added on bit to the game. But I did go around getting all the collectibles and getting all the shrines and stuff like that, and I done all the hideouts, and that's when the fight started happening. And it's like places where you can do like a round tournament. It goes up to like 5 rounds or something, and you just do that over and over again, like level yourself up. And I was like, that's pretty cool. So
all right. Well, as about for Alan now, what would you say is the game that you just thought was shit and turned out to actually be great, or you weren't exactly expecting anything from?
Most recently would be in DMC.
Yeah?
Because I wouldn't say I jumped on any bandwagon. It is reviewed and it's on the site, and people are welcome to read it and see our thoughts on it. But with me personally, it's like that got a lot of controversy, and I mean people were pissed. I mean, I've seen geeks be angry before, but they were sending death threats to the developers because they changed the main guy. They changed the concept of Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
And I mean, yes, they've done that, and yes, they've changed characters, and yes, it's gone a different direction. But it's a fun game. And at the end of the day, games should be fun. And I mean, I don't like the new guy. I find him quite annoying. I did like the old Dante, but considering that Capcom there was a culture difference, but considering Capcom were like, look, we really can't do much with this anymore without being it milks, which it takes balls in my opinion. They could carry on making it. They could carry on, going on and making another 10 DMCs and it'd probably sell, but they wanted to do something different. And yes, in a way it didn't work, but to play it as a game, I enjoyed it, and I'm glad I didn't listen to a lot of the hype. I'm glad I listened to a lot of the fanboys, and I played it myself, and it was a fun game. And ultimately, I think that's what a game should be as well. I mean, it's not the DMC you're accustomed to, but it was a good game. And to be honest, I'm not going to spoil it, but play the game and then talk to me about it, because the ending will show you otherwise. Okay. That's what I personally interpret it as anyway.
Alright. As about you, Toby?
One I was a bit sceptical about was on the DS, Golden Sun Dark Dawn. I'd heard a lot of good things about. I hadn't played a Golden Sun game, and it's a bit of a cult following on the old Game Boy Advance. So the first one I actually played was the Dark Dawn, but I thought, I'll give it a go. So I'm not really a massive fan of RPGs. I like them, but it's only the odd few. I don't play all of them. But yeah, Golden Sun Dark Dawn, it's so good. I loved it. I still haven't completed actually, but that's because I got stuck. Like you can collect little. It kind of sounds a bit Pokemon, but you collect little gins,
Yeah.
And then you can unleash them and save them, and there's so much to do. It's a really long game. There's bits where you think it's going to end, but it doesn't, and you're like, oh, there's more. There's so much to look at, and collect all the little. Yeah, I was thoroughly impressed. Definitely, I thought it was going to be a bit of an average RPG, same old, but I was really impressed by that.
I gotta say, Golden Sun is probably one of the greatest RPG franchises I've ever played. Right, and I know it's a very broad statement to say, but it was just the music, the characters, the little puzzle mechanics. It all worked so well.
Yeah, it does all gel well together.
And even the little gins, then you could combine them and have different effects. In my opinion, it really tans the ass of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, it is a really good game. I love it. But that'll probably be it. That'll be it, I think.
Alright. See, when I have to ask about it, one that I was really surprised that I really enjoyed was Castlevania Lords of Shadow.
I love Castlevania.
Right, because I'm a huge fan of Castlevania, I'm a fan of Metroid, the franchises, You know, the good old side-scrolling, exploring, jumping, smashing, usual shit. And they were brilliant games. And when I found out that this wasn't the approach that the new Castlevania was taking, I was like, oh, it's going to be awful, right? But then I've heard it's got some relatively big names involved, Robert Carlyle, Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
Right? So I thought, I'll check it out, right? And I have to say, even though it's not, you know, Castlevania as we know it, it's not one big open map that you explore sort of thing on a 2D sort of...
Pretty linear.
Metroidvania.
Right. It's quite linear. It's got its exploring moments though, but everything worked really well in it. And I have to say, Robert Carlyle really fucking shines in it, right? And I was so glad when I found out he's taking it on to be in the sequel as well, right? Because they are.
Yeah. Did you hear about you know, they got a sister game coming out on the DS.
Mirror of Fate.
Yeah.
If that sells well,
3DS.
if
Sorry?
that sells well and has a good, if the one on the DS sells well and has a good rating, like with the fans and everything, they're gonna release it and port it over to consoles. So you know, like they did with Resident Evil Revelations, it's done really well, so they're porting it over to Xbox and PS3. They're willing.
The graphics is a bit of a far cry from Revelations, though. So I mean, a lot.
No, I know.
People
there
might be a
work
bit.
there.
People might not be happy, but
Also, I'm
It'd
not
be an
enjoying. If they
idea.
do that, I wouldn't be enjoying that. I'm not enjoying this. Let's just bring a game out for 3DS and then port it over to something else.
No, but it could be an idea. The fact that if it does well, that they do it, so they test it out on the handhelds and then bring it over.
Well, they could just take a risk and test it on the big ones instead of using Nintendo.
But then why risk it?
Well, why not
why-
risk it? They just wait for Nintendo to take all the risks.
well, I mean, essentially speaking, what they could do. I mean, DS games are never vastly long when they're trying to use graphics.
Yeah.
Right? So what they could do, as an idea, right? This is, you know, me speaking out to the developers out there because they value my opinion so greatly. Is if it does well, why not have basically use the mechanics which would probably be similar for Lords of Shadow 2 and release this as a DLC, as a prequel, because that's what essentially it is. It's
This
bridging
one's
the two
set
games.
between 1 and 2, isn't it?
Yeah. So they could do like a DLC because they've done quite big DLCs for Lords of Shadow 1. They could do that and get a load of money off people gullible enough to pay. But yeah, I mean,
I think it's the Dead Island syndrome again. I think they'd rather make a new game out of it. They'd rather get it on a shelf to buy than be releasing it as DLC.
Right, so no one's ever heard of before. They want to put it out on the shelf and go, it looks really interesting, but it.
But what I can understand Toby's grievances, but what I was trying to get at is maybe this might be a good idea as well. Is maybe not just Nintendo, but generally put it out on the smaller systems, see how it goes, and if it does, then port it over to the big systems.
I have to say that I kind of disagree with that one because that's implying that the smaller systems aren't as good.
Yeah.
Right. That's implying that they're just a testing lobby when there's some games that just wouldn't work on a.
No, yeah,
like,
I'm not saying they should. I'm just saying I wonder now if maybe this is where it could go. If we're not careful.
It could do. I mean, games like say
Not that I
Sonic
agree.
Generations. That one it was for the 3DS. It has no necessary reason to be on the 3DS, but they released it for both 3DS and every other console. So. I suppose why not? But I recommend if you do find Lords of Shadow for like £5-10, pick it up because it's really good graphics, great voice acting, and just fun.
On James's recommendation, I actually played that, and yeah, I'm the same. I really enjoyed it.
So, Kieran, what were you going to say?
I was going to say about the games going on to smaller consoles. The only thing is, like, official Xbox games can't do that.
No.
Console, so it just wouldn't work.
I was looking at more
That's
ones
the other way
that could
around,
become.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I was looking at the ones that could become multi-platform, that have a little fan base and could build more.
Oh,
I mean, Resident Evil Revelations, by the sounds of it, has done amazing with everybody. And now they're like, okay, no, let's port it over. So I'm thinking maybe they won't set out to do it, but there could be that factor of, well, if it does well on the handheld, we'll port it over.
I think that's a rare occurrence, though, to be honest. I don't think that should happen all the time. I don't think it'll happen a lot.
They have done it before.
Well, they said that it may happen with this new Castlevania on the DS. If the fans respond, they're willing to think about a port. Think about a port. Not that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But think about it.
They've done it with Pokemon. They've done it with Pokemon, haven't they?
They're not direct ports, are they? They're kind of new
Yeah.
I guess you do the same thing, but yeah, they're like different titles.
It still worked though. That's the thing. It still worked. When I had the GameCube, they had Pokemon Colosseum. That still worked. That turn-based combat that still worked on that. I really enjoyed it. I think that was a little add-on what I liked about the GameCube, apart from Super Mario Sunshine World, of course. But I could go on another about that. But yeah, if they did do that, they can also ruin the game as well because already people expecting what the game is going to be. So they know the storyline. They're just going to be re-releasing it out again on the console.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
So
Yeah.
It was just food for thought. Maybe they may be onto something with this.
Maybe. But on the whole, I mean, I think we've managed to flog everything that we were disappointed in, despised, pissed off with, and basically just had a good old moan. So, well, I'd have to say thanks everyone for, sharing their opinions with us. And I'm going to have to say, over to you, Ellen.
Okay, well, thank you everybody for coming out tonight. Thank you, James, for taking over the hosting reins. Like I said, it's Google Hangout TGR Gaming Nights. It's pretty relaxed. So if you ever want to, host yourself or staff alike might want to come on, even fans, we're happy for you. Basically, all we ask is you make up 4 questions. You're kind of willing to drive the conversations like James done today and I do each week. Just come along to www.TheGamingRigUK. Hit us up on Facebook and Twitter if you ever want to join in. Likewise, any feedback, anything you might want to send us. We've had some fan art recently sent to us. We're actually using it as a cover photo, believe it or not, because it's really good. We work on a community, we work on fan base, but we're not out as to kind of flog AAA titles because we're wearing suits, etc., etc. We're basically here as a community, and we want to build on a community. Definitely come check us out. www.TheGamingRig.co.uk. Thank you, everybody. Anybody want to finish on anything?
Yeah, really.
Bye all.
Bye.
Okay, well, we won't be doing one next week because we've got some to now upload, so we'll have catch up. But we'll be back on the following week, so big March time, I reckon, by that time. But we just check our Facebook, Twitter page. We'll keep you updated. Like I say, come check us out. www.TheGamingRig.co.uk. Cheers, guys.
Keep it frosty.